So now, to get a bit more practice with CIs, let's try adding a new job that makes a plot with the data that we just processed with the scheme binary. So what you'll have to do is run this command in a new job, and then upload the resulting hist ggh.boot file as an artifact. So for the scheme, the YAML file that we have should look something like this. So we have the greeting job, the build scheme job, then scheme job, and then you should try adding a new job. Let's call it, for example, plot, that makes these plots and then uploads the resulting histogram file as an artifact. So you should try this by yourself. So pause the video and try it, and then you can come back and look at the solution. Okay, so let's implement this. So let's open the YAML file as before. So we'll want to go to the very end and let's add a new job. So let's call it plot. And just as before, since we are gonna need the data that comes out of this scheme job, we're going to need to indicate that it depends on scheme. So needs scheme. As before, we're going to use Ubuntu latest, and we're going to use this Docker image. And as before, we need to indicate the list of steps, which in this case will be just a single step that runs. Well, let's give it a name. Let's call it make histogram or make hist, which runs this command over here. And here, one thing, well, there's a few things we need to take into account. So as before, we need to download the artifact that we produced in the previous job, and we also need to check out the repository so that we can use this histograms.py file. So let's copy this part over here, and let's paste it over here. But now, instead of downloading this scheme artifact, we're going to want to download this artifact over here. So we'll want scheme _ggh. You also have the solution here if you want to look at it. So we check out the repository, download the artifact, make a new step where we plot the histograms, and let's also upload the resulting histograms. Let's copy this step too. And then that should be all that we need. So let's go ahead and save this. Let's add it. Let's make a new commit. And let's push it to GitHub. So again, let's go over here to actions. Let's wait until it starts running. Let's see. Maybe that I had a typo. Let's go to our pull request. Let's see what happens. Seems like it's just taking a while to start, so let me stop the video and come back when it starts. Okay, so now the job is running. I can take a look and see what's happening. Okay, so this is completed. Now it's running our scheme job, and then it should run our plot job. One thing that I should mention is that here we used Python, and we can just use it directly again because it comes prepackaged in this image that we're using. But we didn't have any, if we were not using a container like here, we would have to use an action to set up Python. I mentioned this very briefly in one of the previous lessons, and it's something that you need to commonly do. Okay, so let's see how this is going. I'm gonna pause the video until it finishes. Okay, and so all the jobs finished successfully. You can see that if we scroll down here, now we have, apart from the previous artifacts that we had before, we also have this histograms artifact that contains our histograms. So again, this is useful for when your workflow produces some useful output that you might want to download later or upload to somewhere else. So that is it for this lesson. What we're going to do next is to actually start implementing some testing, which is one of the main reasons why people use CI workflows. So I'll see you there.